welcome to Lauren Reed Color. I hope you're all having a good morning. It is relatively quiet here, although I do have the washing machine on in the background. Toby has had his breakfast and he is lying down, so he should also hopefully take a nap and not squeal during the video like he usually does. He just needs to, put in his 2 cents. Anyway, before we get started on today's last installment of our Tea Tranquility page, I have a couple of announcements. First up, if you've been following the goings-on in the coloring community, you know that tomorrow, the 1st of February, begins the month-long Coloring for Cancer event that was initiated by Joe at Piggy Pens. The event is kicking off with a Tubithon where 16 colorists will be live streaming for 24 hours, including me. Here is an infographic with the streaming schedule, and you can take a screenshot of it so that you can keep track of everyone that you want to watch. I am streaming from 8 a.m. My time, which is 6 a.m. GMT, and right after me is Joe from Geordie Colors. This will be my very first live stream. I hope that the technology plays nicely with me, but with my luck, I am absolutely sure that the dog will bark, the neighbors will decide it's the perfect time to vacuum, and the gardener will come to mow the lawn. In other words, just a regular day here. The page that I'll be coloring on the live stream is the page that RJ Hampson has so generously illustrated for the event. So let me just get it 1 second. So this is it. This page is if I remember correctly, a limited edition. It's only going to be up for the duration of the Color for Cancer event. And after that, it's going to be removed. So it is currently available on his website. You can go and you can download it. And all of the proceeds for this page and for the Tubithon, for everything that we do during this month, will be donated to the World Cancer Research Fund. So let me get the infographic for that. So this is it. So it's whatever you do for the event, if you color the page or color a different page, you can put in the hashtag coloring for cancer. It's coloring with a U. And for the Tubithon, it is hashtag Piggys Tubithon 2026. And as I said, all of the proceeds will be donated to the World Cancer Research Fund. And so far, we have accumulated, I think that's the word, accumulated about £620, or that is what RJ Hampson put on his Instagram. I think there's also a little bit more in the Just Giving website. So another way to donate is through the Just Giving website, which I will also link down in the description box. All the information needed for donating, for watching, for participating will be in the description box. Before I move on to our regularly scheduled programming, I just want to say regarding this page that as you know, I am a pretty slow colorist, so it is unlikely that I will be able to complete the page in the 1 hour and 20 minutes that are allocated to me. But nevertheless, I will be finishing the page on the channel, and I will be recording the process, so it will all be up and available to you. Okay, so now on to our whips of the week. Right, this week I managed to complete a couple of pages, and I also started a couple of whips which will be accompanying me throughout February. And the first page that I completed is in Romantic Country by Erie, and this is the page. It is the Cocotte Map Overview page. I based this with Neocolor 2s to get this aged map look, and then I shaded with Caran d'Ache Pablo pencils. Those pencils are quite muted, so I could get the old timey feel to the page that I was looking for. And yeah, I really love the way that it came out, and it turned out that this was the beginning of a pink phase for me, because I managed to color quite a few pink pages since this one, and you will see all of that on the completed pages video, which will be coming up after the live stream. Okay, so that's my page in Romantic Country. I also finished a page in Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford, and this was a double page spread that I'm really proud of. So this is the page. You can't really get all of it on camera, but I enjoyed the process of coloring this page much more than I thought I would, because it's got a lot of leaves, and if you know me, I'm not a fan of leaves. But for some reason, the process of coloring this page went so smoothly and so quickly. And I think it's because I colored from outside in. So I started coloring on the edges, and I would color this area, and then I would color this area, and then I would move in. And I colored one element at a time. I took breaks between the leaves. I alternated colors, and so it was really a relaxing process overall, and one that I enjoyed very much. And then I did the background. So I wanted the background to be a beigey, pink, snowy sort of background. So I went onto Pinterest, of course, as I always do, and I'm looking for inspiration. And I found an image that I was going to use as the background, that I did use as the background. And here, I'm putting it on the screen so you can see it. Anyway, so that's what I did. The background is a base layer of Arteza gouache paint in a taupe color, which on this paper, which is kind of creamy, came out looking quite pink. And then I used my own do-it-yourself distress ink technique, where I take watercolor, I mix it with a little bit of glycerin, and then I use an applicator to create the distress ink effect. So I used several different colors on the background, and then I used Languile gel pen to put in the bouquet circles and the snowflakes. And yeah, I'm really pleased with the end result. Okay, so that is my page in Enchanted Forest by Johanna Basford. And then I have two whips on the go right now. So the first one is in my do-it-yourself planner. So if you've watched the channel, you know that I make my own planner, and that for this year I have added a couple of pictures to color in it as well. And these are images that I purchased from Etsy, from Agotapop. I downloaded them and I stuck them into my planner. So this is actually sticker paper. And the pencils that work the best on this paper, I tested them all out, is Castle Arts. So that's what I am using on all of these images. And this is the image for February. It's called The Tiny Flower Shop. And as you can see, I have started coloring it. And I, of course, also have an inspiration image for this page, which is over here. And I'm slowly but surely working my way through this page. I'm going to color a little bit every day, while I also color other things. So it's not all going to be done at once. Okay, so that's the page in my do-it-yourself planner. The final whip that I have on the go is in Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes. So I had finished up all of my coloring for the week, and I had even done the coloring that I wanted to do in my journal, and I had some time left over, so I thought that I would begin the page that is for the Mythomorphia group on Instagram. And the page that we are doing is this kitsune. So my plan for this page is to have the kitsune be in shades of orange and yellow and pink and peach. Yes, and then the background will be blue. Okay, so because those are complementary colors. And so I have started with the background. I always find that it's easier to begin with the background so that I can see what all of the other elements on the page are. Anyway, so I have put down right now a layer of Inktense. It is navy blue and indigo blue for the deepest shadows. And I may or may not put pencil on top. It all depends on how the Inktense looks once it's all on the page and dry. But yeah, I have begun. Okay, so that's Mythomorphia by Kirby Rosannes. And now we're going to move on to our actual coloring for today. Right, so today we are going to finish up our page in Small Victories by Johanna Basford. And the page that we've been working on for the last few weeks is this Tea and Tranquility page. And I'm really pleased with the result. I love the water effect that we've gotten in the teacups and in the teapot. And I think our gold really shines. Last time we put in the background with Neocolor 2s. We drew in the shapes for the steam and put down the layer of Neocolor 2s. And I have allowed the Neocolor 2s to dry for the entire week. Well, Neocolor 2s do dry pretty quickly, and you can put the pencil on top as soon as it is dry. I do like to let it dry for a bit longer than 24 hours. Just, for my own perfectionism. Anyway, so today we are going to shade, and we are going to make use of the shadows and highlights that the Neocolor Tools has given us. So for example, here we've got a highlight, here we have a shadow, a highlight, a shadow, and so on. We're also going to try and keep as much of the Neocolor tool as possible, because I think it has created some lovely effects on the page. Other areas are going to need to be shaded a bit more, like under the teapot and under the spoon and under the cups. And under the butterfly. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, what I've done is I have chosen colors based on our palette. Okay, so the colors that we are going to be using for shading are this blue and this purple. So they are Azure Mist and Purple Navy. As you can see in the Azure Mist, there's this gray color. So that's the gray that we've gotten. And there are these purples. Now the pencils, oops. Just let me put this aside so I don't get any pencil on the page until I really want it. So these are the colors that we've been using. I don't think we're going to need these three. Okay, so let's put those aside. Okay, so as I said, we're using Caran d'Ache luminance pencils, and those gray colors are, yes, what do we have here? We have Payne's Gray, 30%, which is 504. I think this is Payne's Gray, 50%. We have black and we have white. And then we have two colors for the navy purple, I think it's called Purple Navy. And this one is light ultramarine and violet, okay? So these are the colors we're going to be using to shade the background of the page. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, so I am zoomed in a little bit, and we are going to start with the Payne's Gray 50%. Okay, we're going to work from the top down. Okay, so as you can see, we are going to be putting in shading around this teacup. Just a little bit. Okay, and we're going to be blending out with the lighter gray and the white. Okay, so welcome everybody. I hope you're having a good morning. It's morning here. And as you know, if you've been watching for a while, these are chatty videos. So I chat about all sorts of different things as I'm coloring. The semester at work has come to an end, and it has been a busy week with exams. Final exams were this week. So students, I must say, they went smoothly. In the past, they haven't always gone smoothly. So if I remember correctly, there was one year it was storming on the day of the exam, and the students, a lot of the students got stuck in traffic, and we had to start the exam, I think it was an hour late, and there was still some students who hadn't arrived, and we had to get special permission to allow them into the test because they were late, and the proctors are very strict about letting students in who are late. Yeah, so, and then last semester there was a problem with the exam itself. There was the testing office mixed up two exams. They gave the wrong exam to the wrong group. It happens, that happens. The process of putting in the exams and having them photocopied is usually pretty organized. I don't know what happened. I have a feeling they got the exam, even though the exams have numbers on them, like the courses have numbers and the exam has the course number on it, it sometimes gets confused. So that didn't happen. None of those things happened this time. It all went smoothly on the day of the exam. We were very pleased. Hundreds of students take this exam, and so there are lots of different groups and lots of different classrooms. As you can see, I'm leaving highlights. You can make use of the shading that the Neocolor has given, like here. See, it's given some shading. You can just make use of it. And we are going to blend this out with white and with the lighter gray. So don't worry right now if it looks a bit dark. It is going to be lighter once we blend. Yeah, so Yeah, so as I said, lots of different groups, lots of different classrooms. I think I had 10 classrooms that I was going into to answer questions. And the students, they're so funny. So we tell them, first of all, that they have to write their answers on the answer sheet. They cannot just write them on the questionnaire because the questionnaires are taken and they're shredded. We only answer the answer sheet. We only mark the answer sheet. So I went in to make sure that they all remembered that I had explained that to them. And then you go in to answer questions, and all of the students are, the kinds of questions they ask are questions that, did you read the question itself? You know? So I always have to say, I can't tell you, you have to read the question. Or they ask questions like, is this correct? And I have to tell them, I can't tell you, I will mark it, and then you will find out if it's correct. Anyway, so students are funny. Anyway, so as I said, it all went smoothly, but then I had to mark. I am marking about 80 tests because I have 3 different groups who took this test, and there are about 30 students in a class. One of my classes is slightly smaller. It has 21 students. So I'm marking like 80 exams. It has part A, it has part B. Part B is an essay. They have to write, I teach academic writing, and so they have to write an essay on the exam. So all of those students who were using ChatGPT during our practice lessons are in for a nasty shock because I can already tell the ones that have used ChatGPT. Their essays, what they did was, they can't use ChatGPT on the exam, so what they do is they practice. They're given a topic. They do know the topic in advance. So I have no doubt that some of them went to ChatGPT and asked ChatGPT to write an essay for them on the topic, and then they, probably learned the key ideas, which is fine. I don't mind if they do that. But on the day of the exam, they're given a specific question to answer in their essay. And I can already tell from the grades that the students who used ChatGPT didn't answer the question I asked. They just sort of regurgitated everything they'd memorized from ChatGPT, which is not in answer to the question that I asked. Ooh. All of that has been off camera. I am sorry. All I've been doing is basically, taking my pencil and shading, okay? Sorry about that. I have a bad habit of finding myself off camera, but it's the same technique. Well, everything that I'm doing here is exactly the same as what I did below. To get the smoky looking effect, make sure to leave highlights and shadows. I'm marking all of those. It's a slow process because, again, just like I'm a perfectionist in my coloring, I'm a perfectionist in my marking. I like to make sure that I have, properly evaluated them and given them the grade that they deserve. Yeah, so that's what I was doing this week. I'm halfway through. I have marked all of part A in all my groups. And I actually want to erase some of that. 1 second. So if you see that you've got an area that you feel is too dark, you can erase. This is another benefit of the Neocolor 2 base, is that you still keep the underlying color. Okay, I think that this side is good. Let's just put a little bit more here in the shadow. Yeah, okay, and we also want to do this little bit over here. Let's not forget that. Okay, and let's move down. Okay. I am on camera. Yes, okay, so, so I've marked all of part A of all my groups. And, that's a quick part. It's like general questions that they have to answer. And there's an answer key, so it's pretty quick. And what I do is I mark across. So I mark every test, question A, then question 1, then I mark every test question too, and so on, so that I'm marking uniformly. I don't, yeah, I'm just going to erase some of that as well. Okay, okay, and here too. Good. Yeah, I like to be uniform in my marking so that everyone, all the students get the same, you know, the same points, the same, I mark the questions in the same way so that it's all very as objective as possible. Unfortunately, the essay is a little bit more subjective, but even then I have a rubric that I use and try to be, you know, let's just erase that, it's a little bit harsh. Okay, try to be as objective as possible. Okay, right. This method that I'm using is called scumbling. It's these squiggly circular motions. It's called scumbling, and it's great for creating textures for smoke, for trees. Okay, and I always have an eraser on hand so that I don't get any harsh lines. Okay, and very lightly, I'm holding my pencil far down the barrel so that I'm getting a light. Okay, here the gray is going to merge into the purple, so we're going to leave that. Okay, now here around the teaspoon, I'm going to put some shadow. Okay, yeah, so as I said, marked all of part A, and now I am in the middle of marking part B, which is the essay, and that is what takes the longest time. They have to write a 5-paragraph essay. I have to make sure that they've got the structure that I taught them, that they've answered the question, that their content is good, that I asked. They can use, they're given an article to read before the exam, and they have this article that they can use as source material for the essay. So I have to make sure that they've used it for, you know, content, to answer the questions. Okay, now here, I don't want this to be too, you know, in the corner here. This is always a problematic area. Just going to do this. I will erase and smooth that out a bit. Yeah, so I have to, and then I have to, you know, make sure they've used academic vocabulary and that they've put in correct, I teach them sentence types so that they've used the correct sentence types and all of that stuff. Okay, I'm now just taking the eraser and softening this up a bit. Okay, and it will be softened up some more with the other colors. Okay, and now let's move over to this area. I'm just turning the page just a little bit. Okay, so underneath the teapot, yeah, so I have marked, I'm trying to think, just under 60 so far. I only have one group left, which I will be marking tomorrow while I am watching everybody else's live streams for the Tubithon. Yeah, so if you want to know what I'm doing while I'm watching everyone, I am marking exams. Yeah, just making sure my protective sheet is not going to give me any lines. Yeah, okay, so yeah, so that was my work week. The next exam is only on the 18th of February, so I've got time. I can have a little bit of a break and, you know, color and record videos. There might be a few more videos this month because I'll have time. Okay, just over here again with the scumbling. I wanted this area to be a little bit darker in the corners. Okay, we can always layer more layers on top if we want it to be darker. Okay. Right, and now we are going to put shadow underneath the spout here and around, and then over here. We're going to, I think, have to come in with our eraser. Anyway, so yeah, I'll have more time to make videos and such. And I've got some plans for some videos that I want to make. So we'll see if I can do that. Yeah. What else? What else did I do this week? I've been watching Shetland. I saw yesterday. So I'm on Goodreads, and I'm in a group for historical romance readers, and because that's one of my favorite genres. In fact, I've just finished The Viper by Monica McCarthy. It was okay. I don't think it was as good as the first 3 books in the series. Mainly because the heroine is TSTL. Okay, so if you're not a reader, TSTL means too stupid to live. This is when a heroine does something that is just so idiotic, and you're like, oh my God, did she even pay attention to what she was doing? And invariably it's a plot device. So instead of the author, having the character behave in a rational, logical manner as befits an intelligent human being, yes, the heroine, it's usually a heroine, which is kind of annoying. Sometimes it's a hero. I've known a couple of books where a hero is too stupid to live, but invariably it is a heroine, which is kind of annoying. And they behave in a way that it goes against their characterization. They're intelligent, they're smart, and then they go and do something stupid, and it's invariably in order to advance the plot. I don't like that. Anyway, so this heroine in this book was TSTL. She does something that just defies logic, and of course it gets the hero in trouble. Okay, I do want to here just take my eraser and erase some of this pencil. This also gives more texture to the, I shouldn't be doing that. I should not be brushing it away with my finger. I need a brush, hold on. Yes, I always have to remind myself not to brush with the finger because you will smudge. Okay, sorry, hold on, I'm just moving my chair closer to the desk. Okay, oh, I like that. Let's move on. Let's go back to this side. I want to get this darker effect that I have here on these areas. There. Yeah, I want to darken up some of these shadows. And over here, just making sure I'm on camera. Here as well. Darken up the shadows. Yeah, so that heroine was... How did I get onto this? I start talking and then I lose track of what I was actually going to say. Oh yeah, so I'm on Goodreads. I remember I am on Goodreads and I belong to a historical romance group. There are lots of different challenges and books that we read together and so on, and then we discuss them, which is fun. Anyway, yeah, so I saw on my historical romance group that The Bridgertons has been released on Netflix. I had completely forgotten about that. And then, so I've watched all the first 3 seasons of The Bridgertons. My favorite is season 2. It's also one of my favorite books in the series, book 2. They made some changes, but overall I think they did a good job. And my problem with book 1 is that there's a scene in it that is just terrible, and I don't like it. So it's not my favorite of the books, even though I do like the couple and I do like the story, and I love Julia Quinn's writing. I just did that again with the finger. Yeah, I'm just deepening up shadows here. So yep. I was kind of disappointed in season 3. I felt that a lot of the elements from the book that I love are not in it. So, for example, I do not think that Colin does enough groveling. he is really a jerk in the book. He's much more of a jerk in the book than he is in the show. In the show, he's much nicer. And he does things in the book that are just really, you want to smack him upside the head. But at the end, because he is such a jerk and he does such horrible, they're not really horrible, they're like obnoxious. Because he does them and he treats Pen quite badly, he does an excellent grovel at the end of the book, which is not in the show, which is disappointing because that grovel is what makes everybody love him. He gives excellent grovel, which he doesn't in the book. He does not give excellent grovel in the book. I mean, in the movie. In the book, he gives excellent grovel, and in the show, he does not grovel enough. He does not make up for his nastiness sufficiently. He does not redeem himself. Well, he doesn't need to. In the show, he doesn't need to redeem himself as much as he does in the book. Anyway, I digress again. So I saw that season 4 is starting, or has been, yes, is starting. So season 3 and now season 4 have been divided into two broadcasts, which it's disappointing. I want to be able to just watch them all at the same time and binge, but I see that I'm not going to be able to do that because part 1, or the first few episodes, the first 4 episodes are released now, have been released, and the next 4 episodes will only be released in February. I mean, it's not a long time to wait, at least it's not months. That would be seriously, seriously annoying. It's just, a couple of weeks, but still, I would like it to be able to be all available so I could watch it all at once. And I'm debating whether to watch the episodes that have already dropped, that have already been broadcast, because they're talking about it in my Goodreads group, and I don't want to have any spoilers. So I'm debating about whether or not to watch them now and then watch the second series of episodes. I will decide this weekend, because I really want to watch. It's Benedict's book, so they filmed them out of order. Okay, so they filmed the first 2 books. The first 2 series are the first 2 books. So the first book is Simon and Daphne. The second book is Kate and Anthony. And so that's correct. It's The Duke and I is Simon and Daphne, and The Viscount Who Loved Me is Anthony and Kate. And I love how she's named them after movie titles. Book 3 is Benedict's book. So that one was called An Offer from a Gentleman. And book 4 is Colin and Pen, which is called Romancing Mr. Bridgerton. But they have put Colin and Pen in the show before Benedict and Sophie. Okay, where am I? All right, I'm carrying on. I'm moving up to this section. Yeah, so they're out of order of the book, which is okay. It doesn't matter because they have, it works for the show. It doesn't really matter. The books are more or less self-contained. There's no overarching plot line there that goes from one book to the next. So it's fine. They can be read as standalone books. They can be filmed also out of order. It doesn't really matter. However, one thing to keep in mind, I'm not sure what the show is going to do, but for Eloise's book, I'm not going to tell you who her hero is, even though it's someone we have already been introduced to. I'm thinking that they will keep the original heroes. So I won't tell you who her eventual husband is, because it's someone we've already seen in the show. Anyway, so Eloise's book, which is, I'm not going to tell you because it gives away who the hero is. The title of the book includes the name of the hero. If you're interested, you can go and check it out. So Anyway, so her book takes place, the plot is in parallel to Colin and Penn's book and some of Francesca and Michael's book. So in the book number 6 is called When He Was Wicked, and it's Francesca and the hero is Michael. In the show, they have changed the plot a little bit, which I think is kind of cool. And Michael has become Michaela, so it's kind of cool. I think it suits Francesca's character. However, it is going to change the plot of the book entirely. The plot of the book is really significant. It's a significant plot diversion. Diversion? Is that the word? Moving away from, it's not, yeah, a diversion. So, yeah, the plot, it'll be interesting to see what they do for that, because it's going to be completely different from the original book. Okay, yeah, I like that. I'm thinking I just want to erase some of that. Okay, and don't do it with my finger. And over here as well, bring some of the highlight back. Okay, and now just this little bit. I really like our smoky effect. Yeah, so that's the Bridgertons, which I have to decide if I want to watch now or wait until the entire season is out. Yeah, so I was in the meantime, I'm watching Shetland. I watched all of season 8 and all of season, no, I'm on season now. Oh, I'm on season 9 now. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And I think I will finish watching season 9 and take a break before season 10. I went onto Google and made sure that there is a season 11, and there is. That is looking so good. Let's just zoom out so that you can see the effect that we have gotten with the luminance on top of the Neocolor 2. It creates this really cool smoky effect. Okay, so as you can see, we've got the smoky effect from the pencils and the Neocolor together, which I really love. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take, I'm thinking of not using the Payne's Gray 30% because I think we've gotten a really nice highlight and shadow area, and I don't want to take that away. So instead, I am just going to blend out with white. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. We're going to go over all of this, but again, I'm going to try and leave as much of our highlight as possible. This white will bring back highlights. Okay, back to the top again, and we're just going to take this white and blend out the Payne's Gray. Okay, you can use medium pressure. You can go a little bit into the highlight area. All it will do is lighten it up even more, which is fine. Okay. So that's what we're doing. We're just blending out the Payne's Gray. Okay. Yeah, so there's that. What else did I do this week? As I said, I finished my book. I'm starting a new one today. It's another historical romance. I'm on a historical romance kick. Right now it's called Outrageous, and it is by Minerva Spencer. This one is set in Regency time. So Viper, which is the book that I read before, was set in medieval times during Scotland's War of Independence from England, beginning in the reign of Edward I. He was such a monster, that man. He was really a monster. I must say, Monica McCarthy's historical research is top-notch. I love how she has, all of the characters are people who existed in real life. And she's sort of, given them, she's taken some of the facts about their lives and put them into the book, including the heroes and the heroines, which I think is really cool. Okay. Yeah, I think this is doing a good job of blending. Okay, we're still keeping our smoky effect, which I'm very happy about. Yeah, this was a good decision not to use that other gray. Once we put in the gel pen or the acrylic marker, I think I'm going to use acrylic marker, to go over the lines, it'll look even more like smoke. Yeah, so Outrageous by Minerva Spencer is it Regency or Victorian? It might be Victorian. I have to look it up. It's either Regency or Victorian. Those two time periods overlap each other. Like Victorian is from the reign of Queen Victoria, which was right after the Georgian period, even though the king in between was a William. William the Fourth. Okay, let's make sure I'm on screen. Yeah, here's my highlight, which I want to keep. This area will be a bit darker. Okay. I'm on screen, yes. Oh, I don't want to get any lines. Let's just move this out the way for a second. Yeah, sometimes I get lines because I haven't moved my protective page from underneath. All right, we can put it back now. Yeah, okay. Here I am going to use some of that 30% Payne's Gray. Is it this one? Yeah, because I want this area to be darker. So let's just blend out with this pencil first. Okay. Here as well. I want this part to be darker. So I'm just blending out with the Payne's Gray 30% first. Yeah, so I'm reading that. And then I think after that I will read a mystery, because it's been a while since I read a mystery. I'm thinking one of my other groups is starting a reread of Naked in Death by J.D. Robb, who is also Nora Roberts. I love that series. I'm not caught up with the latest books though, but I'm quite happy to do a reread of the first book, the first and second books. In my opinion, the first and second books are just amazing and set the tone for the whole series, which is now into book 60-something. That is a really long series. Nora Roberts is so prolific. She writes 4 books a year. So she writes 2 in-depth books and then 2 other books. So either a book in a series, so she's got like trilogies that she writes, and then a standalone. And the standalone is either a contemporary romance or a romantic suspense book. And then the book in the series, usually her series books are fantasy of some kind. Oh, that looks nice. We might deepen up some more shadows. Right now we're going here to this area and blending. Yeah, so I think I might reread Naked in Death. I haven't decided. I'm still debating. Because I remember the plot. So it won't be a surprise to me. I know who did it. I know all of the twists and turns. So I'm not sure that reading it is going to, do anything for me. I am in a bit of a reading slump. I can usually read, about 10 to 12 books a month. But lately, I've only been reading 2 or 3. But I'm just not in the mood. Okay, let's see. Oh, I think I want to blend out a bit more over here. It's fine that it looks grainy. This is supposed to be smoke, and smoke is not going to be smooth or uniform. Okay? Did Did I do all of the side? I did. Now we just need to do this side. So let's start from this top. Oh, let's just move this up a bit. Yeah, so that's that. What else? So, so last week I was telling you about the new puppies at Camp Carter. And I told you that I would update you with their names because they didn't have names yet last week. So last week, yeah, I said I would tell you their names. So they have names now. They are so cute. There are 5 male puppies and 1 female puppy. And they are named after, she always chooses a theme and then names the puppies accordingly. So we've had the Hallowed Hounds, we've had the Pond Pups, we've had the Jane Austen, I can't remember, Pack, something like that. Okay. Anyway, this time they're named after the Game Changers. Now this is a book that I haven't read, but according to my roommate, it is a very good book, a very good series, very popular, and it's been made into a TV show. So they're called the Game Changer Pups, and the names are Ilya, Shane, Rose is the girl, obviously, Ilya, Shane, Rose, Tuna Melt, Ginger Ale, and Loon, and the mother is called Yuna. And I understand from my roommate that this is just fine. Okay, all right, so that's our smoke. Now we're going to put in the purple background. Hold on one second. Okay, for the purple background, as I said, we're using violet, light ultramarine, and, it's light ultramarine violet, and white. Now, I really want to keep most of these highlights, so I'm only going to shadow very, very lightly and only in the, darkest areas. So, for example, for this, we're going to start on the bottom, because that's where most of our shadows are going to be. So I'm taking the violet. Oh, that's nice. See how it's merging well with this background Neocolor 2 color. All right, I really don't want to put too much of these colors. I really want to keep my highlights. Okay, so just around the teaspoon here. Okay, you can put some into this shadow area over here. Again, it's going to be blended out. This bit is going to be darker. We are going to blend it out, so don't worry if it looks a little bit streaky right now. It will be blended. Okay, just a second, I'm moving up. Yeah. I know I'm quiet right now because I'm just concentrating because we're in this corner here, and I want to be careful not to put too much of this onto the side of the page, even though I'm thinking that when we do this side of the page, we will also do this background. It will be a nice complementary, cohesive look to the 2 pages. Anyway, just move that so I don't get any streaks. Oh, that's a bit harsh, that line. Let's erase. See, you can erase. It makes it really easy on the Neocolor 2 background. We want to keep that highlight there. So underneath the teacup. All right, just here a little bit at the top, not a lot, because I want to keep that highlight there around the smoke. The steam around the teacup. Yeah, so those are the Game Changer Pups. I want to take my eraser and just erase some of that. The eraser will even erase some of the Neocolor 2. Okay, I like that. Now we're going to move over here. in the shadows. Okay. Yeah, so I'm keeping as much of this shadow as possible. As much of this highlight as possible, because I think there should be a highlight here. Oh, we forgot to blend this part out. Okay. Yeah, the Game Changer pups. What else? What else happened this week? I'm really excited for this live stream, and I just want to give everyone fair warning. Yes, this is my first live stream. Technology and I do not always go together, and so I'm really hoping it goes smoothly. If it doesn't, you know, that's also okay. We'll just have a lot of fun. It'll be a crazy a crazy live stream. Be prepared for Toby to, you know, decide that, oh, he wants to participate. He likes to participate. When I'm on Zoom, he's like, oh, are you on Zoom? I will come. I will talk. I have things to say as well. So keep this in mind. He might not want to cooperate. And I'm really not very good at multitasking either. So as you can see with this camera, sometimes I'm on screen, sometimes I'm off screen. So my roommate is going to be my moderator. She has volunteered, she's my assistant. She has volunteered to contribute to the cause, and she will moderate, she will, you know, inform me of any questions that anybody asks, because I'm going to just, you know, be focused on the coloring. I might also, no, I'm definitely going to be coloring. I have these ideas. Maybe I'll do something else, but no, I will be coloring that page. I'm looking forward to it. It's such a gorgeous page, so sweet. I was going to use my new Derwent drawing pencils, but they're still not unpacked. They're still not swatched. And so I just want to bring back some of my highlight. And so I'm going to use my polychromos. This is too uniform. Sometimes when your shading gets too uniform, again, you can erase. Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay. Now we're going to do this little bit over here. Yeah. So another thing that I want to talk about is what we're going to be doing on next week's Saturday Snippets. I have to erase that, it's too dark. So yeah, as you know, this book, Small Victories, is our project book for the channel. We've already colored, this is our third page in it for these Saturday Snippets, but I'm thinking of taking a break simply because I don't want to get burned out on the book to get to the point where I don't want to color it anymore. So to avoid burnout, I was thinking we would do a Saturday Snippets series on a different book. Now I have two options. Okay, so I have two books that are focus books for me this year. I actually have more. I have like 7 books that are focus books, but for this purpose, I have narrowed it down to 2 because the other ones are books I'm coloring in regardless. Okay, so one of them is Daydreams by Hannah Carlson, and the other is Twilight Garden by Maria Trolle. Now, okay, but before I carry on talking, let's have a look here. See how we've got this nice highlight here? I want to keep it, but I want to shape it a little bit. So on this side, I'm going to put this purple here. Okay, and on this side here, oh, we've been going for a long time. I'm thinking we might not be able to finish this page today, and I really wanted to. I might, since this process is something that I'm just repeating throughout the entire page, I might stop and finish it off camera. But it's the exact same process that I have shown you throughout. So if we run out of time, that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, going back to what we're going to do next week. So as I said, I'm thinking of doing a different book, either Daydreams or Twilight Garden. Okay, so here I am putting this pencil in all of the crevices around all of these elements. Okay. Right, so yeah, so I was thinking of choosing a page from Twilight Garden and one from Daydreams, putting it in a poll on the channel, and you guys can vote on which one you like, and we will do it next week. And that'll be our Saturday Snippets page for the next couple of weeks, or however long it takes us to finish. And yeah, we'll take a break from Small Victories, and after that we'll get back to Small Victories, or perhaps we'll do the other page in the other book that didn't win the vote, or perhaps we'll choose a different page. I don't know. We will see. But I do think we need to take a break from Small Victories to not get burnt out. Okay. Right. We're deepening up the shadows that the Neo Color 2 gave us here. Yeah. Okay, and here too, around the smoke. The smoke creates shadows. I know it's weird. Smoke creating shadows, but it does. Okay, so yeah, that's the plan for the future Saturday Snippets. And let's just deepen up around there and under this leaf. Yeah, and now let's do this area over here in the teacup. Okay. Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to finish this today unless I do most of it off camera. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop that, and I'm just going to show you what we've got so far, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing off camera. Okay, so this is what we've got so far. We've got all of our smoke, we've got all of our background with the violet. Let me just show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this ultramarine light and I am going to blend out the violet. So for example, let's take this area over here. I will just be going over all of it with this violet. Okay, leaving the highlight. Just like I've been doing with the scumbling motions that I've been doing throughout everything that I've just shown you. All right, and then I'm going to take the white and I'm going to blend out the highlight. Now I'm not going to put this white into the shadow area. Okay, right. So I'm going to be doing those three things, yes? The deepest shadows with the violet, then the ultramarine blending, and then the white. And I'm not going to put the white on the violet. And then I'm going to take a gel pen or an acrylic marker and go over the lines to create the smoke. And you will see the effect that we achieve posted on Instagram and also in next week's Saturday Snippets. So thank you so much for joining me on today's Saturday Snippets. I hope that you will also join me for tomorrow's live stream and that you will watch as many of the live streams for the very worthy Color for Cancer hashtag and participate in the events that are going through the entire month. It is for, as I said, a really worthy cause. Thanks again, and I hope to see you both tomorrow and next week. Bye for now.